What drives a boy to cross forbidden boundaries? Slade steps onto a wanted poster, his heart pounding as he realizes the danger he's walked into. The shadowy figure behind him smirks with predatory satisfaction. One wrong turn in this maze of alleys could cost him everything. Blood streams down Slade's face as the alley closes in around him. The sound cuts through the silence like a blade. Behind him emerges a man with darkness in his eyes and steel in his hand. The escaped prisoner has been found, and this hunter enjoys the chase. Desperation drives men to unthinkable acts. Slade's eyes widen as he realizes there's no escape from this nightmare. The hooded figure raises his weapon, ready to strike. But in this city of shadows, sometimes the hunter becomes the hunted. The blade slices through air with deadly precision. A helmeted figure in black emerges from the darkness like death itself. The hooded attacker collapses, blood pooling beneath him. Slade trembles, gun in hand, warning this new threat to stay back. But who is the real enemy here? The thud of a falling body echoes through the alley. The gun clicks ominously as the masked figure takes aim. Slade's world explodes in pain and confusion as the bullet finds its mark. Blood stains his shirt as he falls. Why kill for a bounty? He gasps, only to ask what his captor waits for. Death hangs in the balance. Metal clatters against stone as tension reaches its breaking point. Slade stares up in bewilderment while his attacker suddenly hesitates. The distant red sun watches over this deadly game. Then the city's voice crackles through speakers, warning of approaching danger. Even in the midst of violence, greater threats loom.
The Hazeshift warning echoes through the empty streets as curfew descends upon the city. Slade finds temporary refuge, books scattered around him like forgotten dreams. But in this world, even sleep brings no peace. A dark presence stirs in the shadows, drawn to his vulnerability.
Panic shatters the quiet as news of the Hazeshift spreads. The girl bursts through the door with urgent warnings. Slade must retrieve his brother from beyond the city's protective embrace. Time is running out, and the deadly haze waits for no one. The forbidden slums call to Slade like a siren song of danger. Beyond the city's walls, Riel and Benji play with fire in the edgeline wasteland. The blood-red sun casts its judgment over the urban decay. Something deep in his gut screams warning, but duty demands he venture into the abyss. Snow falls like tears from heaven as Slade battles the chain-link barrier between worlds. His frustration mounts with each failed attempt. The fence tears at his determination, but he pushes through the pain. At least Riel's predictable habits offer hope in this maze of uncertainty. The red moon presides over a wasteland of broken dreams. Riel questions the emptiness where their supplies should be, while Benji's confusion turns to alarm. Their hiding spot has been discovered. The sharp clang of metal pierces the night, forcing them into the shadows like hunted animals. Snow-covered alleys become a battlefield of misunderstanding. The nervous girl watches as tension explodes between city and slum. Dismissive words cut deeper than knives as the older boy treats the edgeline child like garbage. His shouts echo through the frozen wasteland, demanding attention that fear makes impossible to give. Violence erupts as the dark-haired girl strikes without warning. Bodies collide in the snow-covered alley as accusations fly like daggers. Slade's name becomes a rallying cry of desperation. Theft and survival blur together in this clash between worlds, where empty stomachs justify desperate measures. Fear transforms Slade's voice into raw panic. The peacekeepers represent death itself in these forgotten streets. But terror blinds him to the real danger lurking behind them. Metal sings through the air as a blade cuts through the falling snow. Sometimes the greatest threats come from the shadows we ignore. A father's necklace becomes the catalyst for catastrophe. Riel's desperate cry pierces the night as the Hazeshift approaches. Time splits the group apart. Some flee to safety while one remains behind. The city's deadly embrace closes in, and Slade demands what was never his to claim. The hunt intensifies as predator and prey dance through snow-laden passages. Every step echoes with purpose and desperation. The girl's keen eyes spot movement while her companion scales impossible heights. Agility becomes their weapon against the approaching storm. But can they outrun what's coming? Frustration boils over as Riel reaches his breaking point. His pleading gesture hangs in the frozen air, like a prayer unanswered. The girl above represents hope and danger in equal measure. Distance becomes their enemy as communication breaks down. Every second of hesitation costs them precious time. Terror fills Riel's eyes as reality crashes down around him. The sunset bleeds across the cityscape like an omen of doom. Fear paralyzes as the truth becomes undeniable. Behind them, the girl's intense gaze cuts through the falling snow. They've waited too long, and now the price must be paid. Panic drives Riel to the edge of madness as time slips through his fingers. His desperate command to jump echoes through the desolate wasteland. But Slade hesitates, torn between safety and loyalty. In this frozen moment, their fates hang in the balance. One choice will change everything. The race against death begins as footsteps pound through snow-covered alleys. The boy's wide eyes reflect the terror of being hunted. Behind them, something moves too fast, too close. The girl's breathless warning cuts through their hope like a blade. Sometimes running isn't enough to escape your fate. The haze claims its victims as Riel chokes on the toxic air. His eyes burn like fire while his lungs struggle for clean breath. Even reaching out for help becomes agony. A spider scuttles across his trembling hand. Nature's reminder that in this poisoned world, the smallest creatures adapt while humans suffer. Howls pierce the toxic air as something inhuman stalks the haze-shrouded streets. Riel's startled cry echoes off empty walls as shadows move with predatory intent. But in the darkness, an unexpected ally emerges. The calm presence beside the lantern offers hope, if these makeshift walls can truly keep the nightmare at bay. Desperation cracks Riel's voice as he calls out to his mother through the toxic haze. Recognition dawns in the girl's eyes. This isn't just any city boy lost in their world. Fear drives him to pound against the door that separates him from safety. But some barriers can't be broken by force alone. Relief floods through the dim red-lit room as Riel is found alive. The girl's joy quickly turns to concern as the truth unfolds. Slade trapped in Edgeline, wounded and unreachable. The evening cityscape watches like a silent judge as helplessness settles over them. Sometimes being found safe isn't enough.
Understanding blooms in the lantern's gentle glow as Riel processes the truth about Edgeline's residents. The word defect carries weight beyond its letters. His savior's desperation suddenly makes sense. Survival justifies many things. But kindness transcends judgment, and the stolen necklace becomes secondary to the life that was saved.
Language barriers crumble before the universal gesture of kindness. Calico's words fall into the void between their worlds, but her chocolate offering speaks louder than speech. The small treat becomes a bridge across the chasm of their different lives. Sometimes gratitude needs no translation to be understood.
Time stretches like taffy as Riel stares out at the dying light. His mother's anger waits beyond these walls, but safety demands patience. The makeshift bed offers uncomfortable refuge, while exhaustion finally claims him. Dawn brings no answers, only the groggy realization that some nights change everything. Morning light brings the bittersweet moment of parting. Calico's playful yawn contrasts with the weight of goodbye hanging between them. The familiar world calls Riel back to his privileged cage, while she remains in this harsh reality. Their brief friendship leaves marks deeper than words could express. The interrogation begins with accusations sharp as blades. Phantom eyes. The name alone carries terror through these abandoned streets. The LEO officers' threats echo off crumbling walls as body counts become bargaining chips. How many Edgeline lives equal one city child? The answer chills more than the morning air. Steel meets flesh as the LEO operative reveals his true nature. The gun's cold barrel judges while questions burn like acid. Slade's confused denial falls on ears deaf to truth. Another purge looms on the horizon, and ID cards become death sentences. The cycle of violence spins ever faster. Frustration bleeds through Slade's clenched teeth as the city's oppressive weight bears down.
His jacket patch tells a story of survival, while Riel's distant stare speaks of trauma too fresh to process. The urban landscape stretches endlessly beyond their window, a concrete prison that protects and imprisons in equal measure. Guilt crashes over Calico like a wave as consciousness returns. But salvation arrives in uniform, bringing news that transforms terror into overwhelming relief. The officers' calm demeanor masks the storm they've weathered. Mother's tears of joy wash away hours of agonizing uncertainty. Sometimes the system works exactly as intended. Reunion explodes with desperate joy as Riel throws himself at his friend. Death's shadow lifts from Slade's shoulders as familiar arms embrace him. But the interrogation continues, and descriptions of attackers paint targets on innocent backs. Truth becomes a weapon when guided by the wrong hands. Defiance burns in Riel's eyes as adult assumptions crash against teenage truth. Kidnapper threats dissolve before authentic loyalty. The gray-haired authority figure sees only patterns where friendship bloomed. Orders cut through emotional protests like surgical instruments. Some conversations require privacy that children can't provide. Truth and lies tangle together as Slade's desperation overflows. His friend's questions pierce deeper than any official interrogation. The door becomes a barrier between worlds of understanding. LEO protocol matters less than the knowledge that somewhere a kidnapper walks free while innocents suffer the consequences. Justice takes many forms, but all roads lead to the same destination. The compound waits like a hungry beast, devouring those society deems broken. Criminals and defectives share the same cage in this world of rigid classification. The boy's understanding carries the weight of inevitable tragedy. Night brings false comfort as Riel celebrates his friend's safety from a balcony. The returned necklace symbolizes order restored, but Slade's silence speaks louder than gratitude. Shadows of doubt creep across his features as accusations cut through the darkness. Sometimes salvation comes at too high a price. The weight of consequence crashes down as Slade realizes what his rescue has cost. Calico's imprisonment looms like a death sentence for crimes that were actually kindness. His desperate protests echo through the book-lined room, while understanding dawns too late. Heroes sometimes become villains without ever changing their hearts. Guilt becomes Slade's constant companion as he navigates the library's familiar comfort. Books surround him like silent judges while his heart breaks for Calico's undeserved fate. The service counter represents normalcy he no longer deserves. Every transaction feels like betrayal when freedom costs someone else their future. Determination sparks as Slade discovers hope hidden among the library's resources. Sign language books become bridges across the void of understanding. His request for additional material carries weight beyond words. The city skyline looms ominous in the distance, but knowledge offers power to change everything. The keycard becomes a leash disguised as protection as family authority asserts control. Slade's confusion meets cold calculation as safety protocols override personal freedom. Work and worry intertwine while surveillance masquerades as love. The locked door seals more than just a room. It traps a conscience behind bars of good intentions. Resignation tastes bitter as Slade accepts his gilded cage. Promises of return ring hollow when freedom hangs by such thin threads. The door's final click echoes like a judge's gavel, sealing his fate. But determination burns brighter than compliance in hearts that refuse to abandon those they've wronged. Secrets rustle in jacket pockets as Slade prepares for his clandestine mission. Books become tools of rebellion, while the library's silence masks desperate planning. Careful execution means everything when lives hang in the balance. The exit beckons like a doorway to redemption or destruction. The city's skeleton reveals itself as Slade scales its metal veins. Each pipe rung brings him closer to his destination and further from safety. The industrial wasteland spreads below like a concrete ocean. Determination becomes his only companion in this vertical journey toward the unknown. Terror stalks the streets as masked enforcers hunt their quarry. The pink-haired girl's pleas fall on deaf ears while violence becomes the messenger of fear. Wanted posters bloom like deadly flowers on brick walls. Slade witnesses the true cost of resistance in this city that devours its own children. Urgency drives Slade deeper into the shadows as the hunt intensifies. Every second counts when lives hang in the balance. The metal stairs echo with his desperate ascent, while doubt gnaws at his resolve. Communication requires more than words when fear builds walls between hearts seeking connection. Light pierces darkness as Slade's flashlight becomes a beacon of hope. Calico emerges from her hiding place like a frightened animal. The wanted poster reveals the full scope of their danger. Her face marked for capture by forces that show no mercy. Recognition sparks terror and desperate need for concealment. Understanding becomes the bridge between two worlds as Slade attempts to warn Calico through drawings and broken communication. His urgent sketches of Elio marked with warning symbols paint a clear picture of danger. The sign language book offers hope for real connection, and chocolate becomes their first shared word across the void. Progress blooms like flowers in concrete as communication begins to flow. Slade's nervous excitement over his growing sign language skills contrasts with the gravity of their situation. The chocolate becomes more than food. It's proof that understanding can bridge any gap. But beneath the surface, danger still lurks. Success tastes sweeter than chocolate as breakthrough finally arrives. Calico's surprise transforms into joy as she realizes Slade has been learning her language all along. Their shared excitement over such a simple word carries the weight of newfound hope. But in this city of shadows, how long can such bright moments last? In their hidden sanctuary, Slade's excitement bubbles over as he reads aloud from the sign language book. Each word feels like victory. Light, he announces with pride, then bed. Calico watches with curious eyes, amazed by his friend's dedication. The dim lantern casts shadows around their secret world, a world where understanding grows stronger with each passing day. Slade flips through the pages nervously, searching for the perfect word. Then he finds it. Friend, he signs with hopeful determination. Calico's face lights up with that brilliant smile, the one that makes everything worth it. Friend, Calico responds, and suddenly they're sitting close together. I can do this, Calico declares, studying the sign language book with renewed confidence. Slade's protective instincts surge through him like fire. I can keep him safe, he thinks with fierce determination. The city sprawls beneath cloudy skies as someone whispers reassurance into the wind. Everything will be okay. But darkness creeps closer. A content warning flashes, knife threats, self-harm. Time jumps forward. 1 week later. What storms are about to break? Anxiety gnaws at Slade as he approaches his mother. Hey, Mom. His voice wavers slightly. It's been a week since the search began. Have you heard anything from Elio? The response brings unexpected relief. They're calling off the search. Lack of resources. For the first time in days, Slade can breathe. He's safe. Time to focus on what really matters. Can I get my library card? Slade hesitates, biting his finger as uncertainty clouds his mind. Well, I suppose that should be okay. A gentle hand extends the library card with a soft warning about being careful. He takes it with trembling fingers. School and work await, but breakfast comes first. His mother's kindness touches him. Then excitement explodes across his face. Yes. As hope ignites in his freckled features. In a shadowy alleyway, Slade clutches the precious book to his chest. Sign Language, ASL for Beginners, Book 2, the next step in their journey together. His excitement is infectious as he imagines telling Calico the incredible news. The search is over. Visiting will be easier now. No more looking over his shoulder. No more fear. Just two friends bridging worlds with words. But something's wrong. The familiar meeting spot lies empty. Industrial smoke curls ominously overhead as Slade stands by the old television, disappointment crushing his chest. I guess he's not home. He checks their usual hangouts. Nothing. Where the heck is he? Panic begins to set in. Then horror. Dark tendrils reach from the shadows. Slade screams. Terror propels Slade through the narrow alley. His breath comes in ragged gasps as deep red mist swirls around him like living smoke. The chain around his neck rattles with each frantic step. Snow crunches beneath his feet as he runs from whatever lurks behind. Then he stops dead. His hand flies to his mouth in shock. That guy. Someone familiar emerges from the shadows. The sound of shattered glass cuts through the air like a warning. Crunch. Dark boots step deliberately across the broken shards. Then he appears, a figure in black with emotionless gray hair and dead eyes. Damn stupid kid. His voice drips with menace. We saw you with that looking kid last week. Another shadow joins him, accusation heavy in the air. We'll kill you, Slade shouts back in desperation. Slade's voice cracks with desperation. Leave him alone. But the silver-haired man's smirk spreads like poison. Oh, look who it is. The Lockbane brat himself. Recognition burns in his eyes. Calico trembles beside him, wide-eyed with terror. I said stop. Slade screams, but the man only laughs. Metal glints in the dim light. Shing. I'll be ending this whole mess right now. Crimson liquid flows through the alley like spilled secrets. The gray-haired attacker's words cut deeper than any blade. Consider this an example of what happens when you mess with us. Slade's mind races frantically. You might want to rethink that. His voice wavers. I did all of this because I was kidnapped. The truth spills out. So what do you think they'd do if I was stabbed? The knife gleams with blood as its wielder's eyes burn with fury. Shut up already. But Slade doesn't back down. You can't be serious. His voice carries the weight of desperate truth. If you hurt him, whatever happens next is your fault. The blade trembles in unsteady hands. Last warning. Even the silver-haired leader seems unsettled. You're crazier than me, he mutters.
Snow falls like tears in the blood-soaked alley. The boy in the dark coat walks away, his silhouette disappearing into the red-tinted night. Calico lies curled on the ground, broken and afraid. The knife reflects the eerie light, its blade stained with violence. Black boots step through the carnage. And there, Slade frantically gathering his friend in his arms. One word echoes through the chaos. Hurt. In the aftermath, Slade holds Calico close against the cold. Their bodies pressed together for warmth and comfort in this harsh world. The metal staircase leads to nowhere, but they've found something here. Each other. I'll never let anyone hurt you again, Slade whispers fiercely. His voice carries the weight of an unbreakable vow. Whatever it takes. Some promises are written in blood. 2 years pass like pages turning in a book of survival. The skyline stretches endlessly, witness to their growth. Slade moves through the familiar alley, older now, more cautious. Suddenly, RRAHH. Calico leaps from the shadows in a playful ambush. 2 years of trust have transformed fear into friendship, violence into play. Their bond has survived everything this city could throw at them. Slade's startled gasp melts into relieved laughter as Calico's playful attack becomes an embrace. Transforms to haha in seconds. They tumble together with a satisfying thud, all pretense of danger forgotten. 2 years have taught them that some scares are worth the joy that follows. The urban street beckons beyond their alley, a world that seems less threatening when faced together. Survival demands difficult choices. In a snowy alley, they plan their next move with practiced efficiency. I'll distract him. You steal, Slade whispers urgently. Calico nods. They've done this dance before. The cloaked figure at the market stall notices them approaching. What do you want, kid? No handouts. But desperation makes thieves of even the kindest hearts. Chaos erupts in the marketplace. Get lost, Slade shouts from behind wooden crates, his blonde hair wild with desperation. The dark-coated man emerges like a predator, demanding answers. What do you think you're doing? Accusations fly. Stealing, threats of turning them in. Then Slade strikes back with lightning speed. K-R-A-K. His kick connects, proving that the hunted can bite back. Pain explodes through the scene as someone cries, AGH. Calico's grip tightens on Slade's arm. No time for hesitation. Run. The single word carries the weight of survival. Slade nods with grim understanding, snatching their stolen prize. They dash through shadows and down staircases, leaving chaos behind. In this unforgiving world, sometimes running is the bravest thing you can do. Safe in their alley sanctuary, they examine their haul with wonder. Filters, precious, life-saving filters scattered like treasure in the bag.
Whoa, filters. A lot of them. Calico's eyes shine with possibility. Food for a month, maybe even a mask for the next haze shift. These small discs represent hope itself. Make sure you hide them, because in their world, hope is the most dangerous thing to lose. The moment of parting arrives too soon. I should head home now, but I'll be back later. Slade's voice carries reluctance in every syllable. They embrace, and time seems to stop. Every time we hug, I never want to let go. One of them thinks, words too precious to speak aloud. In a world that tears everything apart, they've found something worth holding on to. The weight of deception crushes Slade as he trudges through the snow. I hate lying. 3 words that capture the agony of living between 2 worlds. The city looms dark and oppressive as he approaches his other life. I'm home from school. Even his greeting feels hollow. His family welcomes him warmly, but guilt gnaws at his heart. How long can he keep this up? Slade stumbles through conversation about economics, his mind elsewhere. But his mother's worried voice cuts through his distraction. Checkup notices arrive like harbingers of doom. You aren't feeling sick, are you? Her concern only amplifies his guilt. Mom, I'm fine. It'll be the same as last year. He forces confidence he doesn't feel. But some examinations reveal more than anyone expects. Reluctant compliance weighs heavy in Calico's voice. What a fine. Papers shuffle with bureaucratic menace. Documents about defective traits and independence that could seal their fate. The cityscape transforms from intimate alley to imposing institution. Lock Bay Memorial stands like a monument to control. Inside those walls, lives are categorized, labeled, and sometimes discarded. The official's reassuring words should bring comfort. Right, all done. Everything looks good. Slade manages a grateful smile. That's great news. Thank you. But tension lingers beneath the surface. As they prepare to leave, the door clicks shut with finality. Clack. Then focus shifts to a single, penetrating eye. The name Slade Mackenzie appears in bold letters. Sometimes good news is just the calm before the storm. Evening settles over the city like a gray blanket. Inside their home, normal family conversations mask deeper currents. What do you boys want for dinner? It can be anything. The offer of choice feels precious. But Slade's exhaustion runs bone deep. I'm gonna go to bed early. That checkup tired me out. Rest calls to him, yet rest feels like surrender. Gentle care flows between them as evening rituals unfold. Have a big breakfast tomorrow, okay? The words carry love wrapped in concern. Good night. Slade's response seems normal, but something deeper stirs. At the window, he gazes at the distant city skyline, a view that holds both his worlds. The night stretches before him, full of possibilities and dangers. Back in their alley kingdom, casual play masks deeper bonds. Slade tosses an object with a playful whoop, while Calico catches it effortlessly. There's nothing left here, Calico declares, ready to move on. Sorry I was late today, Slade apologizes, but Calico's understanding smile says forgiveness isn't needed. Between them, lateness is just another small obstacle love overcomes. Curiosity dances in Calico's gestures as he asks, what happened? Slade's casual dismissal, oh, nothing. Just a checkup, barely scratches the surface. But then Calico's eyes light up with sudden inspiration. You could come live with me. The suggestion hangs in the air like a beautiful impossibility. I would like that sometime. Hope blooms between them, fragile and precious. Wonder explodes across their faces as they discover something miraculous above the city. This is, Slade breathes, unable to finish. The stars. Calico exclaims, his voice filled with awe. But wonder carries shadows, too. I've only ever heard about them. The sky is never clear enough. Beauty and loss intertwine in this rare moment of pure magic. In the intimate hush of their shared space, silence speaks louder than words. Soft smiles and gentle contemplation fill the air between them. Their hands find each other, one gloved and delicate, the other sturdy and strong. Faces draw closer, breath mingles, hearts synchronize. The dreamy background swirls with lights that mirror the emotions dancing in their eyes. Memories shimmer like the particles floating around them. Slade's voice carries the weight of cherished history as he speaks of his father's gift. When Dad gave me this necklace, the words flow like honey, sweet with meaning. He said one day I should give it to someone special. Calico listens with perfect understanding, recognizing the profound gift being offered, not just the necklace, but Slade's heart. Understanding crystallizes in the glimmering air. I think this is what he meant. The embrace that follows speaks volumes about love found in the most unlikely places. Against the backdrop of their makeshift home, metal stairs, scattered belongings, a simple lantern, their connection burns brighter than any star. In this moment, they found their answer to the question of what special really means. Simple kindness fills the urban twilight. Hungry, Calico asks with characteristic generosity, offering bread despite their meager supplies. Yeah, thanks, Slade responds, his smile bright with gratitude. They share their humble meal in the shadow of towering buildings. The necklace pendant catches the light, a symbol of promises kept and love declared. Sometimes the smallest gestures carry the greatest meaning. Click. The camera captures a moment of pure joy. Two boys laughing together in their hidden sanctuary. The printed photo shows their happiness frozen in time, a treasure more valuable than any stolen filters. Their bright eyes reflect a bond that transcends the harsh world around them. But even in this intimate space, shadows hint at larger forces moving. The words Hazeshift appear like a whispered warning. Evening routines mask the approaching storm. Night, the silver-haired boy calls cheerfully, innocence unmarked by the danger creeping closer. Good night, sleep well, comes the loving response. But peaceful moments shatter when unexpected knocks echo through the night. A visitor? This late? Curiosity and caution war in her voice as she reaches for the doorknob. Some visitors bring news that changes everything. The dark figure in the gas mask speaks with mechanical authority. Good evening, important notice from a city. Fear trembles in the response. Thank you, officer. The letter bears official seals and terrible weight. The city of Lukawa. As eyes scan the contents, shock explodes across delicate features. Some notices aren't just information, they're death sentences. The defective notice spells doom in clinical language. Reuben Deli, Slade Mackenzie, two names marked for collection by uncaring authorities. The city skyline looms pink and ominous in the fading light, its beauty masking the cruelty within. In a small, shadowy room, two figures lie peaceful and unaware. One dark-haired, one with light pink hair, both beautiful in their vulnerability, both targeted for destruction. In the quiet sanctuary of their shared bed, tender words flow like prayer. I should get home before they notice I'm gone. Slade's whisper carries the weight of divided loyalties. Calico sleeps peacefully beside him, exhausted from their late-night conversations. I'll let him sleep. We were up late. Love means protecting even someone's dreams. The note he leaves reads, I'll be back later. Slade. Determination burns in Slade's silver hair as he makes his promise to the empty alley. I'll make sure to come back early today. The words echo off shadowy buildings like a vow to the universe. But content warnings flash ominously. Neck injury, fainting. The atmosphere thickens with impending doom. Sometimes promises become the very things that seal our fate. Exhaustion weighs heavy in Slade's voice as he climbs through the night. Climbing up that pipe's exhausting. The urban landscape spreads below like a circuit board of lights and shadows. He made it back on time, hunger gnawing at his empty stomach. Morning, he calls out cheerfully, but his expression shifts to surprise in the final moment. Something's wrong. Something's waiting. The morning greeting feels like a trap. Oh, good morning, Slade. His mother's smile can't hide her tension as she introduces the dark-haired officer. He's just here to take you for some extra tests. Panic flickers across Slade's features. What about Rue? What about school? His protective instincts scream warnings, but reassurances flow like poison honey. Sometimes help comes wearing the wrong face. Terror crystallizes in the confines of the car. This doesn't feel right. Slade's golden eyes wide with growing horror. The cityscape blurs past the wrong windows, taking him far from safety. "Mom," he calls desperately. "It's all right, honey," comes the hollow reassurance. "No, we're not driving the right way." His voice cracks with panic. Where is he taking me? Cold truth shatters illusions like glass. The blonde official's words cut deep. The compound. "You're defective, Slade." The brutal honesty about his blindness hits like a physical blow. "I am sorry," Slade whispers, but his mind races toward escape. "I have to take care of Rel." Love drives him toward the door handle. Some cages must be broken, regardless of the cost. Freedom tastes like desperation as Slade tears through the urban maze. Now, his voice echoes off brick walls like a battle cry. Tack, tack, tack. His footsteps drum the rhythm of rebellion. "I can't let them take me there." His heart pounds with fierce determination. I'd rather be with him. Love conquers fear as he races toward the only place that matters. I never should have come back. The chase intensifies through narrow alleys as Slade's determination battles impossible odds. "I think the fence is this way," he shouts, but his pursuer gains ground with every step. He's too fast. Desperation drives him to grab a trash can as a weapon. SMAK. Clatter. The sounds of struggle echo through the urban canyon. Behind him, the dark-haired man in black closes in with deadly precision. At the chain-link fence, hope and horror collide. "I'm here," Slade cries out, but his golden eyes widen in alarm as he realizes the trap closing around him. He throws something desperately. Catch. As blood spatters across the panels like scattered roses. Grab. Echoes through the night, but gravity and violence have already won. No. The single word carries the weight of dreams dying. Authority speaks with mechanical cruelty through the fence. "Slade Mackenzie, you have been found defective. Do not resist." But defiance burns brighter than fear in Slade's response. "Go to hell. I'd rather die." His voice cracks like thunder as he grips the fence, body shaking with fury and terror. The sound of rain mingles with violence as steel meets flesh. The fence rattles and clinks under Slade's desperate assault. Rattle, clink. The sounds of freedom just beyond reach. Then pain explodes through his body. "Jab! Wait! Stop!" He screams as crimson streams down his arm. The night air fills with the terrible sound of tearing flesh. RRRIs blood. His voice carries the shock of innocence, finally understanding the stakes. A red flower blooms in Slade's disheveled hair, beautiful and terrible against his pale skin. Blood marks the end of his fight as the uniformed figure speaks with cold efficiency. "Prepare for medical transport." The rainy city watches in silence, its antennas reaching toward indifferent skies. The boy who dreamed of stars now falls toward Earth, his story becoming just another casualty in the city's endless hunger. Silence falls like a shroud. The cold gray walls of the Lockbane compound close in around their newest prisoner. A battered guitar rests beside an unmade bed, the only remnant of a life once lived outside these bars. Books scatter the floor, one titled Sign Language, as if words themselves have been stripped away. Under threadbare blankets, a boy with light brown hair lies motionless. 6 years. 6 long years since that blood-stained night by the fence. Knock, knock. Time to get up. The morning ritual begins in the compound's cafeteria. A character with spiky gray hair and a bandana barks orders with practiced impatience. At a crowded table, Eddie sits, older now, wearier, his oversized shirt hanging loose on his frame. The unappetizing slop on his plate matches the dull resignation in his eyes. "Morning, Eddie," comes the calm greeting from his dark-haired companion. Time has carved hollow spaces in both their faces.
In the industrial gloom, two friends share a moment of normalcy. The brown-haired boy, tired yet engaged, concentrates on his meal while his black-haired companion offers friendship through simple conversation. How'd you sleep? The question carries weight here, where peaceful rest is a luxury. Any good books? The black-haired boy suggests reading together, his friendly smile cutting through the oppressive atmosphere. Small gestures of humanity in a place designed to crush it. The red flower in his hair tells a story of violence survived. Blood still stains his cheek as the light-haired boy speaks of stars, memories from before this nightmare began. I saw the stars once, years ago. His voice carries the weight of lost wonder. His dark-haired friend listens with genuine interest, asking what it was like. I can't even begin to describe it. Some beauty defies words, especially in a place where beauty dies.
Ed places a reassuring hand on his friend's shoulder. Back to the refinery for me, he says, but his touch speaks louder than words. Thanks, Ed. You too. The exchange is brief, tender, two souls supporting each other in hell. As they part, the scene shifts to a decrepit alleyway and distant subway tunnel. The world outside these walls waits, cold and unforgiving. But sometimes friendship is the only warmth that matters. The underground tunnel echoes with desperation. Orange jumpsuits mark them as property of the state. Eddie crouches beside railway tracks, his hands working frantically at something unseen. Clink, the sound of metal against metal. A gray-haired prisoner barks, "Hurry it up," as tension mounts. Then a figure emerges from the shadows, gas mask gleaming, tactical gear pristine. In no time for breathers, the masked figure commands. Authority has found them. In the metro tunnel's depths, the brown-haired boy stands contemplative on the tracks. His orange jumpsuit marks him as condemned, but his mind reaches beyond these walls. This metro must lead somewhere, maybe even back to him. His thoughts drift to freedom, to someone important waiting in the world above. Pull, the word whispers through his consciousness. On a distant rooftop, a dark-haired figure in gray watches the sunset. Two souls separated by concrete and steel. Lockbane Compound. The name itself sounds like a death sentence. Metal mesh, fences, and dark walls create a maze of hopelessness. In his small cell, the light-haired boy in a white shirt surveys his prison. The word wobble suggests his emotional instability, or perhaps his growing determination. His anxious eyes reflect both apprehension and something else, something dangerous, the spark of rebellion that no wall can contain. Exhaustion weighs heavy on his shoulders. I forgot to wash off. The boy examines his dirt-stained hands, metallic residue marking his palms. I reek of metal and dirt. Knock, knock. Slade Mackenzie, you have a visitor. His eyes widen, shock, hope, disbelief colliding. In the doorway stands a dark-haired figure with long bangs and a light beard. Rel. The name escapes like a prayer answered. After years of isolation, connection arrives. In the tunnel's embrace, reunion blooms like flowers in concrete. Eddie's face transforms as Relly arrives, disheveled hair and dark clothing marking him as one who survived the compound's cruelty. Sorry I couldn't visit last week. How are you holding up? Genuine care cuts through institutional coldness. Same as usual, but I'm happy to see you. Relly produces a small package, Eddie's favorite snack. This will be a huge relief. Sometimes salvation comes in small packages. On the worn underground bench, two friends share momentous news. The first boy gestures invitingly. Welcome to have a seat. His companion settles beside him, spiky gray hair framing an anxious face. I managed to get that job I was applying for. Good news carries bitter undertones. So I might not be able to visit as often now. Success in the outside world means abandonment within these walls. That's great, really. The words ring hollow with unspoken fear. Brothers separated by circumstance face each other through iron bars. The blond boy's streak marks him as different, dangerous in the compound's eyes. A small flame flickers in his palm as he speaks of family.
I thought maybe one day it would be me from my birthmarks, but never you. His brother's emotional expression reflects years of worry. How's mom? The question hangs between them like a bridge across an impossible chasm. Love persists despite the system's cruelty. The conversation turns grave as natural disaster looms. There's a hazmat coming in the next month. They think it'll be one of the biggest, the size of a hurricane. The light-haired boy responds wearily, sure, but his brother's concern cuts deeper. I know this is selfish, but if there's any bright side, I'm relieved knowing you'll be safe in here. Knock knock interrupts their moment. Time's up. In this place, even love operates on borrowed time. Love you. Eddie's voice carries the weight of everything unsaid. His touch on another's shoulder speaks of brotherhood forged in hell. But as the clang of metal echoes, reality intrudes. The size of a hurricane. He stares into darkness, holding a photograph of happier times. A big one like this would tear it to pieces. His shelter could barely withstand small ones. Fear grips him as he realizes the truth. The storm will destroy everything his friend has built outside.
A photo captures two friends smiling, one with dark spiky hair, the other light brown and gentle. Nostalgia gives way to urgency as voices echo through the tunnel. I can't wait any longer. I have to get back to work. The pale-haired boy in red shows frustration, his expression marked by exhaustion and growing desperation. Clattering sounds echo ominously in the darkness. Time is running out, and difficult choices loom ahead. In Lockbane's corridors, desperation breeds dangerous ideas. The blonde boy in orange contemplates impossible escape. I need to get to him fast, but how? I haven't been able to escape this place in years. His determination wars with reality. Even glimpses past security are rare luxuries. A hooded figure points a gun, shadows dancing with menace. The sound of approaching footsteps grows louder. Pop! The gunshot shatters the night. Revolution always begins with a single desperate act. Blood drips from a fresh cut on his forehead. The light-haired boy sits in orange defeat, his yes, sir, a forced submission to the masked authority looming above. But in his dirt-stained hand, something glints. Hope takes many forms. Sometimes it's as small as a piece of metal. Maybe escape isn't impossible. His whispered words carry the seeds of revolution. Even in the deepest pit, the human spirit finds ways to climb. The compound's morning routine begins with manufactured normalcy. Morning. The greeting echoes through stark halls as figures gather at tables. But the ash-blonde boy holds something more than breakfast conversation in his mind. This might be far-fetched, but I have a question. His tone shifts from casual to serious, hinting at plans brewing beneath the surface. Sometimes the most dangerous conversations start with the most innocent words. At the refinery table, conspiracy takes shape over morning scraps. Yeah? What's up? The dark-haired boy's curiosity peaks as his companion produces a piece of metal. At the refinery, the simple words carry weight. How did you? The question hangs unfinished as the brown-haired boy reveals his intention. Shape into what? Comes the incredulous response. Then the revelation that changes everything. A key. The word drops like a bomb between them. Desperation drives the impossible request. Someone I care about is in danger. I need to get out. The blonde boy's pain bleeds through every word. His friend's concern is immediate. You know they'll kill you if, but determination overrides fear. I have a try even if it kills me. The dark-haired boy contemplates the device in his hands, weighing friendship against survival. Sometimes love demands the ultimate sacrifice. Just promise me you won't get killed. Blood streams down his face as their hands meet in sacred contract. The light-haired boy's wounds tell stories of violence survived, but his eyes hold hope renewed. I promise. A fair trade. The handshake seals more than agreement. It binds two souls in shared rebellion. Clink, clang. Sounds echo through the tunnel like whispers of freedom. In darkness, revolution is born not through grand gestures, but through simple promises between friends. The moment of truth arrives with mechanical precision. All right, detectives. Pack it up. Time to haul back. The gas mask figure's commands echo through Lockbane's tunnels. The ash-blonde boy steels himself. I have one shot at this. His orange jumpsuit marks him as condemned, but his spirit burns with purpose. Line up. The order comes, and with it opportunity. I just need to get a hold of those keys. Freedom hangs by a thread of courage. The plan unfolds with violent precision. Trip. Heavy boots stumble on uneven ground. A hand grips tight, kink, as opportunity presents itself. Crash. The light brown-haired boy hits earth hard, his orange uniform dirty with defeat. Get up, you worthless defective. The masked figure's cruelty echoes through the compound. But in that moment of chaos, a hand closes around salvation. There. The keys are within reach. Squeeze. Freedom costs pain, but some prices must be paid. Pain becomes performance as the plan continues. Shut up and let me die, the blonde boy gasps, selling his desperation to masked authority. His brown-haired accomplice plays his part perfectly. My bad, sir, here. White residue stains fingers as the exchange occurs. It's messy, but this might just work. The two boys embrace amid swirling shadows, brotherhood forged in rebellion's fire. Behind them, a cell door looms like a portal to either freedom or death. R.I.P. Pages tear like hopes shattered, but sometimes destruction serves creation. The light-haired boy gasps as his hands work frantically. H.M. His breath catches as he presses the paper down. Focus absolute. Blood still marks his face, but determination marks his spirit. The dark smear on the page reveals its secret, a key's impression captured in ink and desperation. Evidence of a plan that could change everything or destroy them all. In the compound's depths, rebellion takes shape through unlikely tools. The dark-haired boy in orange and goggles studies the rough impression carefully. It's rough, but I should be in pitch. Hope glimmers in his assessment. Workday's over, pack it up. Authority calls, but the wheels of revolution continue turning. A slip marked 5092 disappears into a box. Then the moment of danger. A gloved hand reaches for evidence. Discovery means death. The gas mask reflects no mercy as questions probe for truth. What's this? Authority examines the evidence with cold precision. The boy with messy black and red-streaked hair forces innocence into his voice. Oh, sorry, sir. It's just a page from a book I'm reading. His smile struggles against terror as the masked figure responds with disgust. This is filthy. Every word could be his last. In Lockbane, even literacy becomes suspicious. Warning cuts through darkness like a blade. Don't do it again. The gas-masked authority towers over the boy with dark purple hair, who clutches crumpled evidence of their conspiracy. But as the figure retreats, relief explodes from his lips. Lucky. The paper falls forgotten, a small price for survival. Sometimes fortune favors the desperate. Sometimes the system's cruelty blinds it to its own vulnerabilities. Today, rebellion lives to fight another day. Morning light reveals success born from near disaster. How'd it go? The concern in his voice carries weight of shared risk. Almost got caught, but relief floods the dark-haired boy's features as he produces their salvation. I think this should be a match. The key's duplicate emerges from shadow into hope. Thank you. The gratitude rings pure and desperate. Two friends have forged more than metal. They've created possibility from impossibility. The plan crystallizes with urgent finality. I'll try it out tonight. If it works, I'll come get you. The blonde boy's energy radiates determination that could power the compound's lights. His dark-haired friend responds with hesitant awe, knowing what tonight could cost them both. But before sentiments can soften resolve, authority's voice shatters the moment. Work time, defectives. The shadowy figure looms, and time runs out. Tonight, everything changes. Midnight approaches like Judgment Day. Through barred windows, the compound sleeps while one soul prepares for impossible odds. It should be about midnight by now. The pale blonde boy's anxiety radiates from every pore. Time to give this a try. The key appears, small, rough, but carrying the weight of freedom itself. His trembling hand reaches through bars. The inside doesn't even have a handle. GRRGH, the sound of destiny turning. There! Discovery floods his voice with desperate joy. Click! The lock surrenders to determination and crude craftsmanship. It worked. Relief crashes over him like a breaking wave. His nervous, fidgeting transforms into purposeful action as freedom beckons. In the distance, a voice calls for Ed. The next phase beginning. It worked, let's go. 2 friends, 2 keys, 1 chance at the impossible. The compound's grip begins to loosen. But freedom comes with impossible choices. Slade wakes in his cell, dark hair disheveled, confusion clouding his sharp features. Hold on, I'll unlock your door. The offer hangs between them like a bridge to salvation. But Slade's response shatters hope. I can't come with you. The light-haired boy's worry deepens as harsh reality intrudes. It's too dangerous to talk here. A folded note passes between bars. So read this when you escape. Sometimes love means letting go. Step, step, step. Each footfall echoes through Lockbane's corridors like a countdown to freedom. The blonde boy approaches the massive door, determination warring with terror in his expression. Through bars, his friend's urgent instructions ring clear. Get to the refinery and open my locker number 7. I left couple things that might help. The final word, Geo, propels him forward. Behind him, dark patterns sweep across the floor like shadows of the past. Outside Lockbane's walls, the night offers cold comfort. The pale blonde boy clutches his lantern, anxiety written in every line of his face. Thank you. Gratitude mingles with terror as reality sets in. I can't go running through the city at night. Plus, Edgeline is too far from here. The moon watches his impossible choice unfold. So, this is my best option. Sometimes the only path forward leads through darkness itself. The corridor stretches before him like a throat waiting to swallow hope. The boy with dark purple hair holds his lantern high, its glow revealing anxious features beneath his black hoodie. They're always surprised I'm tired so much. This was to be my ticket to freedom. But freedom's price comes due as a voice cuts through shadow. Hands up. The gas mask gleams menacingly. We followed me. Terror replaces triumph as the gun's barrel finds its target. Desperation ignites into violence. I can't let this chance go to waste. The blonde boy's freckled face contorts with determination as he raises the weapon. Bang! The gunshot tears through the night like thunder. Grab! His hands claw for survival as chaos erupts around him. Ack! Pain mingles with panic. Bang! Another shot echoes through the confined space. In the darkness of the compound, revolution bleeds into reality. In the tunnel's aftermath, survival counts its costs. The blonde boy in his black hoodie stumbles through darkness, red flowers, blood, marking his passage. Step. His boots crunch on gravel as reality settles in. That was too close. I shouldn't have been so reckless. His companion watches with gray hair shadowing worried features. He was only injured. They'll definitely be coming after me. A weapon gleams in bloodstained hands. At least I'll have this. War has begun. Hope appears where least expected. An exit. The pale blonde boy's voice cracks with disbelief as his lantern reveals ascending stairs. Each step echoes with possibility. Step, step, as he climbs toward an uncertain future. His wide eyes reflect both determination and trepidation. Behind him, the compound's depths recede into memory. Ahead lies a world that may welcome him or destroy him. Freedom's threshold has many forms. Tonight, it wears the shape of crumbling concrete stairs.
At the top of forgotten stairs, memory collides with reality. I'm home. The words carry weight of years lost, innocence stolen. The red sun looms like a bloody eye over abandoned buildings that once held laughter. His silhouette stands small against the desolation, lantern casting weak light into infinite shadow. So cold, the boy's voice whispers into wind that carries no warmth. Home has become a graveyard of everything he once knew.
Survival demands harsh choices in this frozen wasteland. Need to get out of this snow. His blonde hair catches what little light penetrates the gloom. Clank. His hand finds rough shelter as exhaustion threatens to claim him. So tired, I could sleep, but death wears many masks here. I've lost a good bit of blood. Need to stay awake. If I sleep now, I might freeze to death. The cold becomes his cruelest enemy.
In a makeshift shelter, warmth comes from flame and memory. Gotta warm up. His blonde hair frames a face marked by fresh cuts as he lights an old and smoky cigarette. The spark illuminates features worn by violence and hope deferred. Smoke curls around him like ghosts of better times. The letter appears in his gentle grasp, paper holding promises that span the void between friends. Slade, the name on the page, carries the weight of everything he's fighting for. The letter speaks across time and pain, Edelweiss's voice echoing through written words. We've been friends for 6 years now, huh? Nostalgia paints the scene in warm tones as memories surface. I have one too. The dark-haired boy's gesture brings momentary joy. In all that time, I never saw you smile. The observation cuts deep, revealing how much darkness they've endured together. But friendship transcends circumstances. Friends forever, Edelweiss. Some bonds even hell cannot break. In the lantern's gentle glow, two hearts speak across impossible distance. The dark-haired boy sits surrounded by shadows, holding paper that carries a friend's soul within its words. Best friends, Ed. The phrase hangs in air thick with emotion. His pale-haired companion's reflection shows serious determination. I owe you the world, and I can never repay it. Gratitude mingles with sorrow as the weight of sacrifice becomes clear. For me, though, shiver. The cold touches more than just skin. A photograph bridges the gap between despair and determination. The blond boy studies the image with thoughtful reverence, memories dancing in his eyes. Below him, the dark-haired boy's confident smile cuts through uncertainty like a blade. I'll find you, no matter what. The promise echoes through both their hearts as snow-covered city sprawls beneath a dim sky. Two souls bound by friendships stronger than walls, deeper than dungeons, more enduring than the system that seeks to tear them apart. In the dim urban alley, fate moves with playful steps. The blond boy lies exhausted on cold pavement, flower petals decorating the moment like hope made visible. His hand touches stone as consciousness wavers. Touch. The simple contact anchors him to reality. Then a familiar voice cuts through despair. Found you. Above him, spiky black hair and a playful smile herald the impossible. Recognition floods his features as their eyes meet. The word find becomes reality. A hand reaches out amid purple flowers. The game continues. Your turn. The dark-haired boy points with playful energy. Me. But urgency shatters the moment as the blond boy leaps into desperate motion. Stop. I need to tell you something. He sprints through the dim alley, past scattered trash bins, terror driving every step. The dark space ahead holds horrors unspeakable. His scream tears through night. Aerate. A hand jolts from within the darkness. The nightmare returns. The dark-haired boy wakes on hard ground, pain radiating through his injured arm. A dream? That's right. Reality reasserts its cruel grip as he focuses on survival. I need to find the markets. His hand finds cold metal, a weapon that might buy him life. If I recall, bullets were an acceptable currency. I think 3 were fired last night, so 5 left. In this world, ammunition equals hope. Mathematics becomes the difference between death and another day. Hidden in darkness, the blond boy confronts his dangerous reality. But I don't even know where I am. I was so high on adrenaline last night. Confusion mingles with desperation as he tries to orient himself. I might not even be in edgeline. Distance becomes his enemy as much as pursuit. Before I go looking around, I need to hide my face. A filthy cloth becomes salvation. It's filthy, but pride is a luxury the hunted cannot afford. The cloaked figure emerges into hostile territory. Gray-brown fabric conceals light hair as he presses against grimy walls. Every shadow a potential threat. It's risky as hell to come back here, but desperation overrides caution as necessity drives him forward. If anyone's going to hear a map, it's Metro Station. Information is currency in this world of hunters and hunted. I'll just be quick. The promise feels hollow against the weight of danger closing in. But sometimes survival demands impossible risks. Hidden beneath his hood, Calico studies the transit map with desperate focus. Station 72 marks his current position. His finger traces the route, Central Station to Lockbarn. The markets lie west, just west. Mathematics of survival playing out on cracked concrete.
Every landmark could mean the difference between life and death. A rustling sound. Calico's blood turns to ice. Crap. His voice barely a whisper as paranoia claws at his mind. Are the enforcers here already? Every shadow could hide death itself. But then relief floods through him. Just a stray cat, round-faced and curious. For a moment, the weight of being hunted lifts from his shoulders. Gentle fingers stroke orange fur as Calico whispers to the small creature. Even cats survive out here in this wasteland. His mind drifts to memories. Slade used to love cats too. Two boys sharing warmth with a white kitten in happier times. Does Slade still have that fondness? Or has everything changed since their separation? The sun bleeds orange across a skeletal cityscape as Calico surveys his grim surroundings. Damn, I really landed myself in a dead part of the city. An hour of wandering through urban decay. His boots crunch on debris-strewn ground. This desolation feels familiar somehow, like returning to a graveyard of forgotten dreams. Through the maze of decay, salvation appears. The markets. Calico's voice carries quiet triumph. I've made it, but victory demands invisibility. He pulls his hood lower, preparing to vanish into the crowd. Just gotta keep my head down. Among the bustling stalls and dim lighting, survival becomes a deadly game of hide and seek. Two small capsules rest in Calico's palm, precious currency exchanged in shadowed alleys. The dealer's casual gratitude masks underlying tension. But danger lurks close. Don't turn around, comes the urgent warning. Lock bar enforcers. The very air seems to thicken with threat. Even successful transactions carry the weight of impending doom. Slade's heart pounds as he spots the bounty board. Wanted posters flutter like death sentences in the wind. His own face stares back. Slade McKenzie, price on his head. Damn it, they're already hunting him. But wait, another poster catches his eye. Calico's face. Alive. Still alive. Hope burns bright even in this nightmare. Murmurs echo through the alley as Slade realizes the truth. I need to get out of here. I'm drawing too much attention. His fingers slip a crumpled paper from his pocket. Exhaustion weighs on his shoulders as he slumps against cold stone. The urban skyline looms above like a promise and a threat. But for now, this... The paper reveals a photo and a name. Calico. Slade's expression shifts to something between sadness and wonder. They gave Calico a name he never had. But the eyes in this image, they've turned cold. Calculating. What horrors shaped his friend in their time apart. Understanding dawns. Calico knows where Slade is. The hunt has begun. Before a broken door, Slade peers into darkness while his hooded companion surveys the wreckage. Freckles dust Slade's anxious features as he takes in the destruction. Crumbling walls and scattered debris paint a picture of violence. The door is broken. Such simple words for such devastating implications. What happened here? Slade steps into the ruins, his voice echoing with disbelief. What happened here? The walls bear witness to time's passage. Countless tally marks scratched into stone. Each line a day of waiting. Did you wait for me this long? The weight of abandonment crushes down like the rubble around them. Rain begins to fall as Slade's composure crumbles. His head bows beneath the crushing weight of realization. I'm so sorry. The words barely escape his lips. You kept waiting alone. Because of me. Each tally mark on the wall screams accusation. The promise to return had become a prison of hope. Memories flood back as the boys remember what they once shared. We had everything. We had each other. Calico's voice carries the pain of loss, while Slade's face reflects pure determination. And I let that get taken from us. Red flowers drip with metaphorical darkness. Beauty stained by regret. I'll find you, I swear. I'll make it right. On the wall, graffiti spells hope. Go to the stars. Slade's eyes widen with understanding. The rooftop, that has to be what it means. But shadows move in the alley below. People. Panic flashes across his features as he ducks for cover. Even messages of reunion come wrapped in deadly peril. The insignia on a stranger's sleeve makes Slade's blood freeze. It matches Calico's wanted poster perfectly. Did these people cause this destruction? The realization hits like a physical blow. I should stay away from here. How about what I needed? Time to disappear before becoming another casualty. Walking through familiar streets, Slade's voice carries bittersweet nostalgia. It's all just how I remember it. 6 years ago, two boys walked these same paths, joking about living together, dreaming of futures they couldn't imagine would be ripped away. The sunset paints their memories in golden light, beautiful and heartbreaking. Calico stands where their paths diverged forever, blood streaking his contemplative features. White flowers drift like lost dreams along an imaginary river. What did he want me to find? The question hangs in air thick with possibility and sorrow. This is it, the destination reached, but answers remain maddeningly elusive. Doubt creeps into Slade's voice as he searches empty spaces. I thought there would be some sort of message, but I don't see anything. Has his vision failed him? Was he wrong about everything? Then his fingers brush concrete and reveal hidden truth, South Block. The message was always there, waiting to be uncovered. On a rooftop beneath the crimson moon, Slade finally understands. He's still waiting. The city sprawls below like a circuit board of possibilities and threats. After all this searching, all this pain, Calico is out there, counting every moment. But will their reunion heal old wounds, or tear open new ones that can never be closed?